What's going on, YouTube? This is Just Crust here, and I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a tier list for the Total Drama characters seasons 1 through 3. I couldn't find a list for 1 through 4, so we're just doing from Island, Action, and World Tour. So basically, whole cast of Island, and then the addition of Blanley, Alejandro, and Sierra. This will be where I talk a lot about what I think about them. Kind of like these opinions will only be for the first 3 seasons. I'm not going to think about All Stars because All Stars I feel like mess with the characterization of a lot. And the way that these pictures are lined up, we start off very strong with Heather in S tier. Heather's obviously S tier. She, from the very beginning of Island to the end of World Tour, when spoilers, she won. She was one of the first people to take the game seriously. Everybody got there thinking it was like a resort. And she also thought it was a resort, but she immediately started planning, conniving, and scheming, and took the game seriously before I think other players really thought about it. She was always hatching a plan, whether it was manipulating very openly, very loudly manipulating Beth and Lindsay, excuse me, to kissing Trent and reading Gwen's diary. I feel like reading Gwen's diary was fucked up in a perfect way. And it was early enough in the season to where we were like, the audience was like, oh snap, this is who she really is. But it's still, like, it was perfect. I think that Heather is an S tier character. She's incredible. I think she's amazing. Duncan is awesome and is also S tier, bottom of S tier, top of A tier. I think I'll put him in A tier for right now, and we can. No, I'm lying to myself if I don't put Duncan in S tier. I mean, the man's a badass from season 1 to 3. Um, when he's in the game, you never can count his team or him out, as seen as early as Dodge Brawl. After he almost won the Sleepathon, he also won them the Dodge Brawl game. Like that beginning of season 1. And I think ever since then, I mean, he's just a cool character. He gets along with the band of bros in like the middle of season 1, him, Jeff Duncan, or him, Jeff DJ, and Owen, peak. That is peak. That is truly peak broship, like brothership. It is truly peak. In season 2, his interactions with Lashana, Heather, and Harold are iconic. I mean, there's not much to say. He even quit season 3, which I thought was really kind of a bummer. But it makes for an even more awesome return after the London challenge, where he's the reward. Helps in voting off one of my other favorite characters, Noah, and then immediately stirs up drama with Gwen, and then immediately stirs up drama getting into an alliance battle, him and Owen versus Tyler and Alejandro, while also simultaneously with that Gwen drama ruining Team Amazon. When he's in the game, you never really know what's going to happen, in a good way though, and that turns into in a bad way in All Stars, but in a good way, you never really know what's going to happen when Duncan steps foot in the competition. Next, we have Harold, who tentatively can be a B tier. I'll have to rethink it. I'll have to give it another run to think. Harold in Island was your standard nerd. I think what bumps him up a lot in Island is just him voting off Courtney. I think that was an incredible moment of characterization, and I think it really showed everybody that he was a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, he was immediately voted off because fuck him. But like, for that one moment, you saw he's like, oh, like everybody's starting to take this seriously, and everybody understands now that this is a competition, and that he wasn't going to stand and get abused. And then in Action, it was more of the same thing. He was getting abused a lot, and then him and Lashana stood up to Duncan. And I thought Action, I think, is underrated. I used to underrate it, but I think it really brought good characterization to a lot of underutilized characters from Island, like Harold, Beth, and Justin. And then World Tour kind of just took a shit on him for the just the easy ability to make a joke that haha team victory sucks, and that his sense of honor would rather him get eliminated than DJ. But DJ's great, so I'm not upset about it. But like I think Harold is like bottom of B, top of C tier. Like I think I'll keep him in B tier. He's good. He's a good character. Next we have Owen. Owen's an A tier. Owen is a lovable, fun guy. Owen can do no wrong, say no wrong, and he's our standable bicon. I'm so sorry I said that. No, he in season one, he's the most happy-go-lucky guy ever, unless you see him in dodgeball. Um, he's everyone's friend. Like I think there's just at least like in season one, he would be an S tier. He's great. Season one, he's just great. Again, he's part of the ultimate brothership of Duncan, Jeff, and DJ. Um, him and Duncan, it's just specifically in the episode where Duncan gets voted off, where it's just them two. Like he's just a bro. Like that bromance is perfect. Owen as a character, him and Gwen working together to get out Heather in the Truth or Dare challenge was very, very awesome. Because even like he's such a happy-go-lucky guy. Even he recognized um, how evil Heather was, and he realized he had to go down, or she had to go down. My bad. In action, it sucked that his jaw had to get wired shut. And then he got eliminated, and then brought back. I did not like that he got brought back. I also just didn't like that Courtney got brought in the first place, but I'll touch on that in about 4 characters. And then a World Tour. I don't remember him a lot in World Tour. I don't remember when I think he got out in Canada. In the wedding challenge, and I felt like that was kind of weird. But all throughout World Tour, he was on Team Chris is really, really, really hot. And I mean, him and Alejandro, I really liked that he took to Alejandro and was very blind to Alejandro's schemes, but at the same time pissed Alejandro off and kept on like undermining him by calling him Al. Like him and Tyler just kept on going, oh, Alejandro, like, I'll give you an Alejandro, bro. A tier. Owen is an A tier. Izzy is a B tier. She in season one doesn't get a lot of development. She gets chased off by the RCMP pretty early on, which I think is hilarious as a plot point. It's genuinely very funny. And before that, she was just kind of seen as like a kooky person, and then she got brought back for a little, and I thought her getting brought back was a better storyline than Eva getting brought back. But and then I think she lasted a decent amount. I don't remember exactly when she got voted off in that time span. But overall, besides like helping Bridget in the Girls Alliance, Bridget and LaShawn, I believe, I don't really think she contributed much when she got brought back. And then in action, she got voted off very early as Kaleidoscope came back as Izzy later on. Kind of weird. And then in World Tour, she was pretty good. I love her and Owen. Her and Owen are a great power couple. Um, and then the plane crashed, and she became a genius, um, which was cool. That was cool. That was a little weird, but I think for Izzy specifically, it fits and it's fine. I think she's a solid B tier character. Jeff, I'd put top of A or top of B for now. I'll have to rethink that because Total Drama Island Jeff, S tier. Or not S tier. Total Drama Island Jeff is high A tier, like definite A tier. He, in Island, again, part of the brothership, part of the big brotherhood. Him and DJ's bromance is incredible. I love them together. They are just genuine friendship goals. They're both such great people when they're together. I believe him and Bridget's like blossoming relationship was pretty adorable. in season one, and I think, um, him fighting to stop her from being eliminated in the Seek and Ye Shall Find was pretty good because it showed that like while he was friends with DJ Duncan and Owen and that they were gonna vote together, it still showed that he did care for her. And it seems that there's Jeff twice, so I'll put Jeff up here twice. Why not? Um, Island or not Island Action, I think ruined his character a little with him and Bridget just constantly making out. I think it was kind of lame. I think there was a kind of lame way to go. And then him being the host of the Aftermath in Action was kind of lame. I don't like the Action Aftermaths, if there is even that many, or if there's any at all. Um, then the World Tour Aftermath, I didn't like particularly, but it wasn't because of him. It was kind of because of Bridget and Alejandro's thing. I think he was a decent host in World Tour. B tier. B tier is fine. I think we can agree with that. Alejandro's S tier. I mean, come on. You can't deny it. You can't hate him. You have to acknowledge greatness when you see it. Um, I mean, Alejandro had one season. Had one season to shine, and shine he did. There was a list. And I don't remember what it was, and I don't remember every name on it, but it showed that Alejandro was either directly or indirectly responsible for the elimination of like 13 people. Because like if you look at this list, he was responsible for the elimination of Duncan, Owen in World Tour. Duncan, Owen, Courtney, um, Gwen indirectly because of Tyler, um, Noah. I'm not sure if Lindsay, DJ, Cody genuinely directly, Courtney, maybe Blanley, um, and more. Um, his manipulation was on point. His singing was incredible. Um, a lot of the songs that he gets major parts in are bangers, such as I'm gonna uh the song when they're all trying to go to Hawaii is a banger. Um, and even the song in the final episode is a banger. And the way that his voice becomes more and more auto-tuned throughout the series, I've seen some people look into it like over the top and say that that is due to his villainy. I completely fuck with that reasoning, and if that is the reason, that's incredible. And that's layered. And I think that his charm is I think that his charm was a nice addition because the only charm that we really had in the past, like being used for evil, was Justin, but that was to a lesser extent. And I feel like it was basically Justin's charm, like his use of his charm as an antagonist in season two, plus Heather's manipulation in season one, created Alejandro, and he did it better than both of them. And I do also like that he won. He went to the top through manipulation, and then he lost uh, because he was actually having feelings. So I find that nice. And now Courtney. We're gonna put Courtney in C tier. And now hear me out. Courtney in C tier. Courtney in Total Drama Island would be like a B tier maybe. Because I think that throughout the first couple of challenges, I really don't like that she didn't jump, and then I feel like, I mean, obviously she would have been eliminated if Ezekiel was not a misogynist. And then there was one or two other times where she almost got eliminated, like between her and Tyler on Fear Factor, copyright, Fear Phobia. I feel like, or Phobia Factor. Goddamn. Um, I feel like Tyler shouldn't have been eliminated there. I feel like it should have been her, and then. But I understand that the creators had the big brain storyline of her romance with Duncan, and I think it was extremely well done. And like, however old me when this first came out was enthralled by it and loved that the bad boy got with the goody goody. And that is a trope that kills me to this day. So like Total Drama Island, Courtney would be like middle of B tier. And then, Jeff would be A tier. But Action Courtney genuinely ruined her entire character for me. Suing to get brought on to the show in the first place is really lame to me, and I find it super dumb. I feel like it was a really, really bad shoehorned reason in, and I know that it was required for everybody to find out about Lashana, which that action built up the characters of Harold and Justin and Beth, but it also ruined characters. It ruined Courtney, and it ruined Lashana, and it kind of ruined Heather, in my opinion. But whatever, that's to get in the future. And it ruined Courtney, and I think that. I mean, it's Chris. Chris has no boundaries. He has no rules. I feel like he should have just brought her back if she wanted to come back. Her being antagonistic toward Duncan in the second season, I found was interesting at best, but kind of annoying at worst. Um, and then her losing, I think she got what, tied for fourth in action, which I feel like was just way too high, but she kept on getting invincibility. And I like I think it was the symbolic defeat of everybody voting for her. Um, I think she was the only one who voted for Owen or whatever, something like that, where basically everybody voted her off instead. Um, and then World Tour, Courtney did nothing overly good, one way or the other. Like her friendship with Gwen was pretty good. And then I don't know, like when Duncan came back in World Tour. I mean, yeah, no, C tier is fine because when Duncan came back in World Tour and started messing with Gwen, as soon as that came out of the bag in Greece, her character kind of became bent on first off tearing down Gwen, which valid, I guess. Um, and then it just became about getting wooed by Alejandro, which was a key manipulation. So we'll keep her at C. Blanley is D tier. She was in Total Drama for like 3 episodes, and in those 3 episodes, she did nothing but manipulate Owen, which was kind of weird, cheat with Chef, and then out Chris as being not good for hosting, which I kind of found funny. But like, I don't know. She was there for 3 episodes, didn't do much. She cheated in the China Challenge with Chef, which made Sierra win due to the dishes being swapped, which meant that Cody fucking basically was able to die because of the love tea in first class. D tier. DJ is an A tier. DJ is a lovable lunk, and I love him so much. He is a king, and action kind of ruined him a little bit too, but not as much as the other ones that I've already mentioned. Total Drama Island DJ is a king. I love him to death. Him and Bunny are adorable. Him just being the friend of everybody. Like, I haven't watched it in a while, so it kind of sucks. I can't remember specific examples. And I mean, like, just to the end, DJ's a bro. DJ is the homie that you want, no matter the cost. No matter where you are or what time it is, you want DJ on your side. You want him as a friend. He was a sweet, lovable guy, and then I like an action that he was cooking, and I like an action. I said that it ruined his character a little bit, but I don't think it completely did because it did show that he was incorruptible. Basically, him as a sweet boy, that he liked to cook, use mama spice. He cares so much about his mama, sweet little Deb and Joseph. Um, and then World Tour, team victory. He hated losing, thought he had an animal curse. Thought that was kind of lame. Or not lame, but like annoying that his entire character became focused on his animal curse. Um, but, I think A tier fits him. I think A tier fits him pretty well. Bridget, we could put her at the end of B tier. And let me take some of my water. Bridget at the end of B tier, solely because she didn't do a lot. I liked how she stood firmly against Heather. Actually, I could move her to like our middle of B tier. I know it doesn't really fucking matter. Um, I like how she's actually no, because that was just off island. Counting action and world tour, back of B, maybe even top of C. Like the way that she stood against Heather in season 1 was great. That conflict, her and Gwen versus her, like Gwen and Lashana versus Heather and Lindsay, or that kind of vibe. Excuse me, was really interesting. And obviously, her blossoming relationship with Jeff was really cool. But then she suffers from the same character degradation that Jeff went through in Total Drama Action with just the making out and stuff, and then stupid aftermath show. Um, and then in World Tour, her storyline is cheating. And then being a weird aftermath host. So I think bottom of B tier, maybe even top of C tier, depending on how I want to weigh this list out. Is fair. I think it's fair. Eva, D tier. She was in the show for like 5 episodes max, not counting aftermaths. I do like that she got a better show or a better participation in aftermath. Um, and it sucks like characters like her, Sadie and Katie, who will both, I guarantee you, be low or D tier basically. Um, Kind of got more representation and more talking in aftermath. I feel that was kind of the point, was to shine a light on lesser used characters, but also I feel like you could just shine a light on them by using them more. Um, and that's about it. That's all I have to say on that topic. Ezekiel is a D tier, but like D tier in a good way. Like he's D tier, but like in comedic relief, he's an A tier. Um, I mean, in Total Drama Island, fucking, he was a misogynist. That's basically it. And then in a World Tour, he tried, and he got voted off first because he lost the divining rod, and then he didn't get eliminated because he stayed on the fucking plane like once, and then I thought that was cool. I thought like it was neat to have like a stowaway. Basically, like I'm not leaving. Like it was like Izzy in season 1 getting hunted by the RCMP. Like she just kind of ran into the forest and things went on. It's like Zeke got voted out in quotes, but like he was still there. I thought that was really neat. And then they found him and then throw him off, and I was like, oh okay, like that was cool. Like he was there for a little bit, and then I think by the time that he was used for Jack the Ripper, I feel like I, I talked about it. And this is gonna sound super nerdy. This is gonna sound really fucking nerdy. I mentioned it in a Total Drama like fan accounts live stream. Like I'd like briefly thought about it, and it was like a Zeke like redemption arc, or just a Zeke anything arc would have been pretty neat. Um, but no, it didn't happen, and like they went the comedic relief route instead of like the real route, like the character building route, and I feel like that's valid. I feel like that it's a fucking comedic show, like whatever. Um, but I feel it was weird, and I feel like Jack the Ripper, him being Jack the Ripper and being like a little feral, I feel like he shouldn't have been feral. I feel like Chef's joke of like, oh, I found him homeschooling with the rats. Like, I feel like that could have been funny if he wasn't feral. And then by the time that they used him in the Serengeti, I found it less funny. And then the Smeagol ending of World Tour, I found a little funny. I'm not gonna lie. I found a little bit funny. So like, comedic relief worked for the most part. I feel like it kind of like got less funny. It was like it was like a slope a little bit. It was like um a cubed graph. Like it went up and then down and then up. Like I found it less funny in Serengeti, more funny with the Smeagol ending, and more funny with the Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper was when it started going downhill. Whatever. Now we talk about Sierra. Now Sierra as a character is really interesting to me because I feel like, and I think a lot of Total Drama fans can agree, like in World Tour, there's a lot of moments where you can say she's A or S tier, like she's incredible. Then there's also a lot of moments where she's D tier, and I think those moments kind of, the D tier moments are really early on in the season when you're first starting to get to know her. I know particularly I was really annoyed with her in France and like Alejandro manipulating her in New York, to kind of give away any advantage she might give Team Amazon by being her favorite. Um, I'll put her in C. I like her more than Courtney. And like I think that near the end of World Tour, her character gets pretty good. I think her character gets better, but I don't know. I can't get over the stalking. I feel like that's really weird, and like I feel like that is something that you should not just be able to gloss over at all. um, excuse me. Like I don't know. I feel like that's just that's the vibes is the C tier because she's really good at certain points. I like her. Again later in the season. Like, I like her in Rapafui, and I like her in the last couple episodes when she's Cody's basket for his hot air balloon, and even like in fucking Australia, I think she's pretty good. And Newfoundland, I liked her a lot in Newfoundland actually. Um, but it's just there's the bad times outweigh the good times I think because she's annoying a lot of the early season when you're still starting to get to know her. Um, and then the obsessiveness is still it's not as endearing as I think they had hoped and or it's just as not endearing as they hoped. So I think C is fair. But I could understand B and honestly I could understand D. Um, but we'll move on. And we'll go to Gwen. Gwen is A tier because Total Drama Island, she was the bitch that everybody needed. She didn't want to be there, and everyone knew it. Her and Trent were adorable, and Trent's not on this list. Looking at it, I was looking at it like a little bit earlier, um, and I knew that there was a couple characters missing because that's why Jeff's here twice, and I guess that's why Zeke's here twice. Is that there's two characters that probably were not included, and so it's probably Jeff, and I'm not going to try to guess. It literally could be anyone. Um, but whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll get to that bridge when we'll burn that bridge when we get there. Gwen is A tier. I think her relationship with Trent in Island is pretty adorable. I like the building. I like how she handles and survives with getting her diary read out loud. Um, I don't know. I think there's a lot to like because she doesn't want to be there. She takes the challenges about as seriously as you'd think. Like I think she takes the challenges as seriously as like a normal teenager would, where it's like, man, I hate this, but I'm gonna try like to win, but like not try too hard. Like she wins the sleepathon or whatever. I just threw the pen I was holding. I don't know why I was holding a pen. It just kind of felt comfortable, and I just fucking chucked it across the room. Um, she wins the Awakeathon. She participates in dodgeball, and then all throughout she's an active participant in the series in the challenges. Because I mean, like you can point to certain characters like, oh, they survived X amount of time, but they only participated and they were only like good for their team. Y amount of time. It's like Gwen was an active participant in a lot of the challenges, and even formed a nice, adorable like little friendship with Jeff at the end, and was friends with Owen. And like I think she was also pretty good friends with DJ. I think that's the relationship like the friendship I was thinking about with DJ, or that DJ had, where he could like be friends with anyone. Is that he was even friends with Gwen. And I think like that was really adorable too. And I think Gwen's a good character. In action, I don't like what they did with her and Trent. I think that was more. I blame that more on how they handled Trent. I don't even blame like Trent as a character. I blame specifically on how they handled Trent for that to go down. And then, I mean, Justin kind of taking control of the team and voting her off, I feel like was good character development for him. And I feel kind of neutral for her. And then in World Tour, I think um, the romance with Duncan was a little bit fast paced, a little fast development, but I also I kind of fuck with it just as much as I fuck with the bad boy two and goody two shoes relationship. I also fuck with just two bad boys. Um, so I think Gwen and World Tour didn't do much wrong. I think they weren't even dating. So Gwen's an A tier. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember if this is Sadie or Katie, and I hope that says something because they're both D tier. Um, annoying together and useless apart is basically what it is. She got voted off first. I remember she got voted off after Justin. Um, and I don't know why. I don't remember why. I haven't watched Island in a couple of years. I don't think, and so I genuinely don't remember these characters at all. Like most of the one-off characters, like most of the lesser-known characters, I can remember what they did. Like Eva was, like their only personality trait was that they were friends together. And I found them super annoying, and they didn't come back in any other season because they knew that they were not great characters. Um, I remember Courtney was the one or reason that Katie got eliminated. She was the reason why this one, the one I'm hovering my mouse over, got eliminated. And the other one got eliminated a couple episodes before her. She got eliminated first. This one got eliminated second. They were both very, very not good characters to the point where like I would want to put them in F tier, honestly, but I'm not gonna make a new tier in the middle of me recording this. So we're gonna keep pushing. We're just gonna keep going on. Lashana's a good, solid B tier. I think that minus what they did to her in action, she'd probably just be in straight A tier. In Island, she's a baller. She, from day one, has mad beef with Heather, and it's deserved. Lashana is serious. She handles business. She, like, she wins. She, logs the Russian bear thing, which is baller. She gets that trailer, which I think immediately, like, it's like crushed or destroyed or fucking whatever. She has genuine friendships with a lot of the people on the show. And again, she's supportive when she needs to be supportive. She isn't a hard ass the whole time. She's very team oriented. I think that her personality is fucking awesome. She's just very cool. Action kind of ruined her a little bit with her trash talking all of her competitors, but also, in my opinion, like I don't know, like I think that was just kind of like private talk, like I feel like she didn't mean really all of it, but like that's me like taking a view from like a human perspective. And then in World Tour, she got eliminated doing what she loved, which was kicking the shit out of Heather. So I think B tier is very, very solid for her. Lindsay, God, we're getting a lot of B tiers, which means I might actually need to. How about I do? I'll put him down here. I'll put the extra Jeff down here. Um, Would I do that? That kind of makes sense to me. Lindsay goes, I'd say like maybe like I'd say Harold before Lindsay, but Lindsay before Izzy. Lindsay in Island was very comic reliefy, um, manipulated by Heather. The shtick, the normal. I like that in Off the Chain. I like that like as she progressed throughout the season, she started questioning Heather more and more. And then in Off the Chain, it kind of fucking exploded, and I really liked that. And then in Action, I really, really liked her and Beth kind of becoming their own characters. And I'm name dropping Beth a lot, and we'll get to Beth. And I probably won't even rank her that fucking high. I'll probably like a B tier, but like the sheer amount of development that Action gave Beth, and then by virtue Lindsay with Admiral Lindsay, her hotness or whatever, like I think that kind of solidifies like a higher B tier actually. Like let me like it's these two characters specifically benefited from a strong total drama action showing. Um, and then a world tour, she was fine. Um, I really liked her and DJ. Like actually, yeah, no, I liked her and DJ a lot. In world tour because they had to spend time together because they were the only two people. Um, yeah, B tier is fine. I think I'd say B tier is fine. And then now Noah. I love Noah. Noah's my guy. I can see. I'll keep Noah at B tier to be neutral. He wasn't in action, In Island, he was eliminated very quickly, but he already showed how up my alley he was with his sarcasm and being a fucking nerd. And then a World Tour gave him character development. World Tour made him last till mid-season with London. And I think even in London, I think it was kind of a tragedy to eliminate him in London after like he was showing like because he was always friends with Owen and like they had both openly said that in like all the fucking confessionals in season 1 and 3. And I think like I liked that he was starting to actually work on Owen a little bit from a more competitive stance and like try to get like a little bit more like an alliance kind of going with Owen. And I don't and like I liked that it showed him having actual opinions, like saying that Al was an slippier. What is that a word? More slippery than an eel dipped in grease. And I liked that. I kind of also liked that his hubris was his downfall. Like he was shit talking them the whole time, not knowing that they could hear it, as well as him and Owen forgetting Tyler, leading to Noah getting eliminated. Because I feel like Al understood that Noah was a bigger threat intellectually than Owen was. I liked it, and then obviously we're not counting it, but him in the Redonkulous face was pretty good too. So B tier, I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite characters, but we'll stick with B tier. Beth, I like Beth. I'd say Beth's like mid B tier. Beth was pretty insignificant in Ireland. I think she was one of the people who revolted against Heather pretty early on. But her taking the trip to Idol from Boney Island, was her undoing. Um, and that sucks, but whatever, doesn't really matter. Uh, her development in action was really good. I liked her becoming her own character. I liked that. I believe her and Lindsay were on a different team from Heather at the beginning, and I liked that. Count the amount of times I've said I like or I liked in this video, and you will die. Like if you took a shot for every time, you would be dead by 5 minutes. I appreciated her and Lindsay being able to build their own characters away from Heather, and I also can appreciate how Justin tried to work them and how eventually she kind of like weaned off of being manipulated by Justin and actually kind of recognized that they needed to get rid of him. And then obviously her in the finale was adorable. I mean, a friendship finale. That's fun. I kind of like that. Like, her like Duncan, the bad boy versus the goody two shoes. And it was like not even the goody two shoes, like just a genuinely like nice human being. And it was fun. I liked it. B tier. She's fun. Cody is a I'll let you think for a second while I take some of my water. Talking for 37 minutes straight. Or not even straight. 38 minutes just talking can kind of get me parched a little. Cody, I'd be damned if he wasn't like. I'll put him here. I'll reorganize a little. I don't want too many B's, but also I know that B is like average. So like, at least in this list, B is average. So like, I don't want to like overinflate, but I also understand that like there should be the most people there. And like I know that looking at these characters, there will be more B's. Actually, just these two, and then like Trent, but Trent will be like a C tier. Cody is in Total Drama Island. He's a lovable loser. We all can, I mean, I'll sell myself out here. We all can relate to his hopeless plight with goth girl Gwen. But also we can appreciate him as a bro to Trent. Him, Trent, the music group, him, Trent, Harold, and the fucking Yeti is one of the only things I appreciate from Aftermath because that's really hilarious, and I love Cody and Trent's friendship. I think it's really genuine, and like I appreciate the wingman aspect of Cody. Actually, thinking about that alone kind of makes me want to move him up a little bit. past Harold. Um, I think in Island again, the lovable nerd. I liked his showing in dodgeball for like no fucking reason. His electrified dodgeballs I found really funny. Um, and I kind of find it annoying that like in the episode where it shows that like people were getting sick at Heather's shit, he was the one who got eliminated just because he found the chip. It was like everything built up for like Lashana, Beth, Lindsay, or Heather to get eliminated. But then because Cody found the fucking bag of chips, he was eliminated because of the bear that mauled him. I think that was tragic. And then he didn't participate in action, which kind of blew because I feel like action really was the show to focus on character development for certain specific characters that didn't get a lot in Island. But he got a lot in World Tour, but he didn't even really get it until like the latter parts because a lot of the earlier season he was just kind of drowned out by like World Tour had a hard job because they put three teams with obviously with equal amounts, and then they had to try to deal with building these new dynamics, especially with Alejandro and Sierra respectively. I think that they spent a lot of the early season building Alejandro, um, and his manipulation of Chris is really really hot. They couldn't really spend any more time with Cody other than when he was related to Sierra. So I feel like he got drowned out for a lot. But I think around China, Australia, or I guess I might have said those backwards, Australia and China, he started showing up as his own character because as the herd thinned, they could focus on those interactions. And I feel like after, Gwen was eliminated, like it was sad and he was sad, but like he was still trying to win overall by building Gwen's face, unintentionally, whatever. And then again in Australia, him punching Duncan, I found that great. And then Duncan throwing the dingo at him, and then at Rapa Nui, him trying like I don't know, I liked it. I liked the end of his arc because like there wasn't really much of an existent beginning of his arc. I just like that like at the end it showed him accept Sierra as like a good friend and then try to push for the finals. And I really could admire that he as a character still stood up to Alejandro even when, he's very obviously physically outmatched. Cody's a good B tier character. Actually, I'll move him up above Lindsay. Tyler is a top of C. Meh. Yeah, I'll keep Tyler at top of C tier. His development in World Tour was pretty good. I liked him as like a secondary antagonist with Alejandro. I wouldn't even call him an antagonist because he was being manipulated, but like a secondary antagonist to Alejandro was a pretty good role I think Tyler filled. He was like Tyler, or Tyler was like Alejandro's main crony, and I appreciated that. In Island, he was inconsequential, really. I mean, his attraction with Lindsay kind of built something like comedic effect, related. Um, but I would say overall, his world tour development kind of like evened him out to like be a top of C tier character. Because again, like his romance with Lindsay was still ongoing. Lindsay was never really too swayed by Alejandro, which I thought was cool. And then him being, again, a secondary antagonist to Alejandro and being antagonistic to Duncan. Um, and him, by virtue of Alejandro being the dividing force that breaks up basically all teamwork within Team Amazon, and his own team with Duncan trying to form an alliance with Owen after he reveals in Greece that they kissed. I think that he was more important than comprehended, but then obviously he was thrown away when Alejandro was done with them. And last but not least, we have Justin, who will be a bottom of B tier character, and I say that purely because I like in season one, Chris says it best, where he was picked only for his good looks. Like like that's all he did for the first challenges was just look pretty and then get eliminated, which like tragic but foreseeable. And then in action, it looked like more of the same, honestly, until I don't completely remember the exact time, but it was around the time when he started. I can see it in my mind, the exact confessional where he was like, "Oh wow, Beth, I love your bracelet. Maybe we should form some sort of alliance." And like that's what I like that it showed like kind of like his thoughts where he realized like, oh, my looks, like people are attracted to me, they will do what I say. And I think that he truly was at like his like little antagonistic run, excuse me, his antagonistic run in action was like a demo of what Alejandro would do. Is because Justin was very like outright doing it. Like, he's like, oh, they like how I look. It's time to make an alliance with them. And then like Alejandro's much more subtle about it. But I think that like he was a solid antagonist. Um, in action, and then he was eliminated. I don't completely remember. I don't remember a lot about the circumstances at which he was eliminated. Um, I think that's everyone. I know minus Trent. Trent would be somewhere down in like C tier. But you know, fuck it, we ball. We understand that this list does not have everyone, so you know, it had as many as I thought. Um, but you know, I think that we made a good list here. I think that we made a balanced list. Um, what is it? Seven people in A and S. I feel like maybe I was a little harsh in the D and C tier, but I also didn't want B tier to be super flooded. Um, Looking at the list, I don't think there's any obvious changes I would immediately make, and I guarantee you, if I made this list tomorrow, I'd probably rank people differently. But this is my thoughts. These are my thoughts. If you disagree, if you have any other comments, leave them in the comments section down below. And if you don't, just leave a like, subscribe if you're new, um, and just leave a comment telling me if you agree with my list, disagree with my list, agree with analysis, disagree with analysis, and anything that you'd change about this list. And if not, just leave a comment in general telling me I did a good job or a bad job, that you enjoyed it, you disliked it. Leave a comment, give me interaction. And after all, after you've liked and subscribed and commented, and that's all I got for you. This has been Just Crossed, and I'm done for the night.